Question is, does the Jets have a better team than Kansas City? Not if they can beat Kansas City. Yes, they have a better team than Kansas City. They have a better team than Kansas City. The Ravens have a better team than Kansas City. 49ers have a better team than Kansas City. Can they beat them? That's a whole nother question. It's the reason why Kansas City was underdogs in every game in the playoffs this year. It's the reason why both these past Super Bowls, they were underdogs in both those Super Bowls because they were not the better team. They just had Michael Jordan on their team, just like the Knicks, the Pacers, all of them had in the 90s against the Bulls. Same thing. They are not the better team. They just have the best player in the world. So if you play a one game, winner takes all. Are you going to bet against Mahomes? Probably not. But going into the playoffs, they still have to get to each other. I'll take the Jets if Aaron Rodgers is healthy, like his old self, or Kansas City going to the playoffs against the whole AFC going to the playoff contenders or whatever that's in there. If you're going into it, just like we did it, I'm sure. I missed some of your predictions, but I did do Super Bowl predictions, and most of them predictions were for the 49ers this year. Most of them were me and you only. Me and you only. Me and you only.
Wow, come on, man.
And the only reason I took Kansas City is because I hate the Niners. I was scared to fucking death that the Niners were going to win a championship. I didn't take them like positively. I took them like a hope. So the realistic is they're not the better team. But when you got Michael Jordan on your team, you have a chance in every freaking game. And that's just what's been happening with Kansas City since Tyreek Hill has been traded. But I don't think they're the better team. The defense is better. Kansas City has a really good defense. But Jets defense is better. The offense, I think we can say if Aaron Rodgers is himself, though. We don't know that. If it's himself, their offense should be better. They have a better running back. We saw a top 3 running back if he's healthy. I believe he will be. He was fine last year. Aaron Rodgers is a top 2. Yeah, I'm with that. I'll say Aaron Rodgers is a top 7 quarterback at this point in his career if he's himself. He got a stud at receiver that hasn't had a quarterback since he's been in the league. And now Mike Williams, I know you said he's hurt a lot, which he is, but he's a very good number 2 receiver. A very good number 2. He's the top number 2 receiver in the league. One of the top number 2 receivers. So I would say a better team, I'm going to go with the Jets. Now, if you tell me if they play each other, who I'm going to bet on, I'm going to bet on Kansas City for sure. It's Mahomes. I'm never betting against Mahomes. One-on-one, direct head-on. But I'm just answering the question. Better team.
I like the thought process. I will say that I do like the thought process and where you're going with it. I did like the analogy about the Knicks because the Knicks was not good. They had Patrick Ewing. The rest of the team was the John Starks and the boys wasn't like that.
Wow.
Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley.
Yeah, they weren't better than Pippen Kukoc and them.
I don't know what they do without him. When it was done, when they completely shut it down.
Aaron Rodgers is coming off a year-long absence. He has no chemistry with these guys going in.
We disrespecting Aaron Rodgers now?
It's not. But you're talking about being better than Kansas City. You're not saying being the best in their division. You're saying being the best in the whole conference. The best team in the NFL. You're trying to jump the gun. And I don't think that's the way to go about it. At the end of the day, man, the Chiefs, it goes through Arrowhead. They proved it again this season. And until the Jets go out there and do it, we saw all the teams that get put together, all the big names, and we've seen it not work out plenty of times in sports. This is nothing new. And I'm just sitting there saying, go out there and prove it. You want me to say that you're going to do it? You have to go out there and show me you can do it. They're not better. I'm not putting them over Kansas City today.
Yes, I do think the Jets are the better team, man. And they no longer have their best defensive back, Ladarius Sneed. He was their best cornerback. They lost Gay to the New Orleans Saints, which was one of their top playmakers on the defensive side. Also. Yeah, tackling machine. You hear Devon? And then and Rashee Rice situation. We know what's going on with that. That story's still developing. We don't know what's going to happen with that. And if he does play, defensive coordinators, even if he does play, defensive coordinators, they will be ready for Rashee Rice. There's game tapes on this guy right now. Travis Kelce, he is not getting any younger. Can you expect them to put the same amount of numbers it will be? I probably will if Taylor Swift shows up, because he plays pretty well when Taylor Swift is there. Um, and we didn't
Unbelievable.
really think much. We didn't, not people had the Chiefs going far when we picked our games earlier this season. I mean, I did. I always say, yo, if somebody needs to knock on the Chiefs, I'm not picking against this team, but I do think the Jets are the better team. They got a lot of weapons, man. They got they still have a solid tight end, Mike Williams, Alan Lazard still there. Um, Garrett Wilson, running back with Brees Hall on the defensive side. They signed Javon Kinlaw. They signed the offensive tackle, former Cowboy Tyron Smith, also helping with the offensive tackle. They got one of the best cornerbacks in the league, DJ Reed. Just notice that I didn't mention that other cornerback. I'm not paying him
He's
no
so
mind at all.
disrespectful.
But yeah, I like the Jets though, man. The Jets are the better team. Healthy is the main issue though. If the Jets are healthy, I'm not picking against this team.
You're not picking against the Jets?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
the Jets as the favorites, clear
You
favorites in the
know,
AFC.
I understand what y'all saying. That if this, if that. Unfortunately, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, so he's part of that team. And
Yeah, and the
unfortunately, they
Jets
have
have
Andy
Aaron
Reid.
Rodgers,
Hold on.
man.
And unfortunately, they have Andy Reid at coach. So that's part of the team. I know he's not playing, but he's the head coach. He draws up the schematics. That's a part of all that. I
Listen,
understand what you're saying, though, Reed. I do.
listen. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. In the past 5 years, the best team has won the Super Bowl one time. So the question again is there a better team? The best team was the Kansas City Chiefs' first Super Bowl with Tyreek Hill there. That's the only time that the best team going to the playoffs won the Super Bowl in the
You
past
didn't think
5 years.
you didn't think the Rams was the best team that year? Oh, I disagree with that. I disagree.
I think we're selling I think we're selling the Hollywood Brown pickup.
Amazing
I think
pickup.
Hollywood Brown.
Right?
I think Hollywood. Y'all just sleeping on Hollywood Brown. Like
Amazing pickup.
I think that's an incredible pickup.
That's
Yes,
better than Mike
whole
Williams.
team- I
He's
trust
the number one.
Hollywood Brown more than I do Mike Williams.
Hollywood's the number one.
That dude, you sneeze on him and he's on IR for 5 or 6 weeks. So I don't understand. Look, we've seen Kansas City win the Super Bowl. Okay, we've seen them go to what, 3 and win two out of 3. We haven't seen the Jets win the Super Bowl since Joe Namath. Okay, so let's stop with the this.
You can't say that.
I don't look.
You can't say that. Every team
The
none of us
does
Jets,
it.
the Jets haven't won the Super Bowl since Joe Namath made that guarantee in the '60s. Okay, so look, you don't
That
get the
don't
benefit
matter.
of the doubt. Again, until you be the man, you have to beat the man. You can say all the I think I don't deal in hypotheticals and what ifs. I deal with what I see right now. As of now, we are in the age of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's just what it is. People can, just like we just came out of the Tom Brady Patriots dynasty. We are in the age of the Kansas City Chiefs until further notice. Period.
And remember, Tom Brady went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. So he can go. He can have a drought as well. Remember that.
I got you, but it might start. It might start this season. But guess what? As of now, until the next Super Bowl in January of February of 2025, the Kansas City Chiefs are the reigning defending champions. Until
So
further
Nuggets
notice.
winning it this year. So Nuggets winning it this year too, right?
I think they are.
I'm just saying, if that's your analogy, then Nuggets are winning it this year.
Here's the thing. Here's the other thing people have to understand about the Chiefs too. They're searching for history. They're trying to be the first team in history to have a three-peat. I think they're going to put everything. Personally, I think this is Travis Kelce's last year. I think this might be Andy Reid's last year. You might see the farewell tour right here. They are going to go out all out for this year because they're doing something that's never been done. And then if you're a free agent wide receiver, you're somebody out there that's kind of like on the fence. wouldn't you want to go? Like the Kansas City Chiefs is a very nice destination right now. If you're a guy kind of like on the bubble somewhere, and you're looking, look, Kadarius Toney's a 2-time Super Bowl champion now. Okay? Kadarius Toney's a 2-time Super Bowl champion now. Let's not forget that. I think you could go out and recruit some people if they get in the middle of the season, they're having some issues or whatever. I think people will take a pay cut to go to the Chiefs now. They're like that team now. I get to play with Patrick Mahomes, so let's not sell that short.
Yeah, speaking of recruiting, there is a wide receiver they are recruiting in the NFL draft this year, and he is the fastest NFL prospect in the draft. Xavier Worthy from the University of
topic,
Texas.
man.
Hook 'em horns, man. Yeah, and hold on, before we get to the next topic, the we talk about the Chiefs and Hollywood Brown. The Chiefs don't feel confident with Hollywood Brown because they're even showing interest in Tyler Boyd right now from the reports that I see right now. So they ain't that confident.
They should. They should try to get more.
You're the defending champions, man. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. Why would you need to go get more, man?
It's the same reason that the Bulls went out and got Tony Kukoc. You can never have enough good players ever. You can never.
They're not. So they're not confident winning this year. Then they're not confident winning this year.
We're questioning them because they're saying leave no stone unturned.
I'm questioning.
Look, the talent acquisition is a 24/7, 365 proposition. I'm always looking to get better. The rich get richer. Yes. If I'm the Chiefs and there's a way that I can try to go get Justin Jefferson, guess what? That doesn't make me scared. That's like I'm gonna go try to get all the good players. That's what I'm trying to do. Y'all remember a few years back when the Lakers were trying to trade for Chris Paul, in his prime. And that was the Lakers then. They were still trying to get Chris Paul because that's what you do. I'm trying to get as much talent on my team as possible because I don't want to just win. I want to annihilate people. People.
Well, with Jordan's Bulls, they didn't go and started adding players on their teams, man.
Yes, they did. They lost
every year when they won a title.
They lost Horace Grant. And then you know who
they went and got? Yeah, they went and got
Dennis Rodman because when Jordan came back and Horace Grant was on the Magic and Michael Jordan he said he went to the front office. He said, "Look, we need a physical presence down low. We don't have Horace Grant no more. So guess who they go get? Dennis Rodman." So yeah, that's what they would, and then they go and get the best player from Europe at the time, Tony Kukoc. So that's what you do. You don't stop. Oh, well, we're good enough, right? That's what the Cowboys do. Oh, we're good. We've been 12-5 for 3 straight years. Let's just stay good. We'll get our ass kicked in the first round of the playoffs.
I think there's only one reason that the Chiefs are doing this right now. The Chiefs are scared of one team, man. It's not the Buffalo Bills. It's not the Cincinnati Bengals. It ain't the New York Jets, man. It's a quarterback down in the. Hold on. Let me talk for a second. It's a team down in the West Coast by the San Francisco 49ers that nearly beat them in the Super Bowl. We know who that guy is. We know who that guy is. No, the guy that you beat, you only beat him once, and it was a lucky win also.
I mean, the Jets have a great roster. And they have a great opportunity. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, just on the offensive side. Now they added Mike Williams. On defensive side, Hassan Reddick. We know about Sauce Gardner, CJ Mosley, etc. But they don't have any chemistry. We haven't seen this team do anything yet. It's unfortunate what happened to Aaron Rodgers, but in a good way, it did happen early on. So he's had plenty of time to recover, and he'll be ready in September. You just can't put anybody over the Chiefs right now, and that's all I got to say.
In the words of Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. That's just what it is. Right now, the man is Kansas City, okay? We can project all of these things there. And adding Mike Williams, you mean the same Mike Williams that barely ever plays is always hurt? That Mike Williams, they tried this last year. They went out and got Alan Lazard. They went out and got Miko Hardman. They went out and got all these people. And Aaron Rodgers gets hurt in the first series of the season, and their season crashed and burned. All of this is contingent on if 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who's been talked about maybe running for vice president of the United States with Robert F. Kennedy, if he really wants to still play football. Okay, we know that the Jets defense is elite. You look at what they have over there, the Williams brother, Quinnen and Quincy, and C.J. Bosley and Sauce Gardner, and then they add Reddick and all that. But it doesn't mean anything. It's all for naught if you don't have any consistency at the quarterback position. We've seen this time and time again with all kind of teams that the missing piece, you got to have that trigger man. You have to have that leader over there. We see it with the Atlanta Falcons. They go out and go get Kirk Cousins. All of that talent means nothing if you don't have a quarterback. So can Hassan Reddick change things over there, make the defense even better than what it was? Probably. But it doesn't matter if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again and they're playing. I don't even know who the backup quarterback is for the Jets anymore. They're getting rid of Zach Wilson, so it'll probably be some scrub, and they'll be right back to square one. So let's see how Aaron Rodgers progresses, and then we can go from there. But I will say this one caveat: on paper, they should win that division. We just talked about the Bills kind of taking a step backwards. I think for that division, it'll be between the Jets and the Miami Dolphins.
All right, let me get some of this, man. All right, I basically really just gonna echo what Alphabet said, man. When you look at it, man, the Jets, they did all the same stuff last year. They went and made all these moves, got everybody Aaron Rodgers wanted. They got him over there in there. Their defense is already elite. They had an elite defense before last year. They were elite last year. They had no offense to speak of because one man got hurt. One man got hurt through their whole season in the toilet. What happens if that happens again? Hassan Reddick's not going to help that. It's not going to help it. Defense was not the problem. They I really think that I wish nothing but the best for Aaron Rodgers. But this is a pretty bad injury. The Achilles injury, that's what he had, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Achilles injury. What happens if he re-injures that, man? I have a bone spur and it flares my nerve on my Achilles, ends up hitting that bone spur in my heel from time to time, and it hurts to the point that I can't even walk sometimes. I can imagine what it feels like to tear or rupture your Achilles, right? So recovering from that, I'm out a week when that happens to me. So I can imagine what happens if you re-aggravate that injury. I could see him missing some time this year. And like they're getting rid of Zach Wilson, and even if they kept Zach Wilson, they still don't really have a backup. So I think it's going to be the same old Jets. No, they definitely. I almost forgot what the question was. Hell no, they're not better than Kansas City. No way, no how. Kansas City don't have to make another move, and they still better than them.